How long does grief last? This question is the most common concern I hear as a grief therapist. We all ask that question, hoping that grief has an expiry date. I'm Jo McRogers, grief therapist, and today I want to explore that while asking how long does grief last is a natural question, there is a much deeper question to tend to your grief. Now, first, I understand why you want to know how long grief lasts, because this is one of the first lies that grief tells us. It tells us that we will never feel better. When you're deep in sorrow, it's natural to look for a timeline, a sense of when the pain will fade. It's really easy to feel trapped in this belief when the pain feels endless. We all just want to get back to normal. But grief isn't just something that we move past. It becomes woven into the fabric of our identity. And the risk is that the question of time, how long will it hurt, keeps us focused on the pain. It becomes a stagnant place of grief. Now, it's important to recognize that grief is not an event. It is a process. Grief doesn't follow a straight line. Rather, it's about evolving. It's about becoming someone who can carry both the sorrow and yet hold hope for the future. So in this way, grief never really ends totally. But with intention and grief work, we can learn to live with our grief, not because of it, not in spite of it, but with it. If we can shift our perspective to explore how we have been changed by our loss, we open ourselves to moving forward in a different manner. I believe that the more important, more transformational question for grievers to ask is, who am I now with this grief in my life? This question invites us to consider how to live and love in a way that honors both our loss and to reassemble our future. It is a forward-thinking lens. This lens is the place of changing our forever frozen pain into living and loving with your grief. But this transformation doesn't happen by accident, casually, or on its own. It requires what I call grief work. So if you are ready to explore who am I now instead of how long will this last, I want to invite you to work with me. Together, we can help you not just survive your grief, but find new ways to live with it. This is the essence of what I do every day with grievers. There are several ways to work together: one-to-one appointments, online communities, workshops, and a live guided online personalized grief study. You can find all of my services on my website. Please don't do your grief alone. Find the right support for yourself at the right time. It's not about waiting for the grief to end, but about discovering who you're becoming along the way. And if I am the right support for you, reach out and let's begin. Grief needs a revolution. Welcome to the Grievolution. And as you change your relationship with your grief, I send you kind thoughts, kind words, and a kind heart. Thank you, and I'll see you again.